Okay, all right. This is not take two. This is
Not at
the
all. This is the
first
first.
take.
We do everything perfectly.
Yes, we do. I mean, yes. Did we record 6.5 hours of heartrending, heartfelt content where we both cried multiple times? You more than me.
Hey! I
But,
thought we weren't gonna talk about that.
well, I'm just saying that this time's going to be more fun. We're a comedy podcast. We're supposed to be funny. So,
Mm-hmm.
Bazinga and
Bazongas. Wait a minute.
whoa now, hey,
I think
that's
that's something different.
solid start.
You know what else is solid?
Oh,
Solids.
the bazongas.
Matter. Um, not it's kind of gelatin, low
Well,
key.
solids do
Jello.
matter. That's true. Yeah, if,
Oh,
if nothing
don't do
was
this.
solid,
Don't do this. You listen here. Actually, oh my god, what is it called? I learned about a kind. It's not a new kind of matter. Oh my god, what is it called? It's matter where it's in a state between solid and a liquid. But I forgot what it was called. But it can only be achieved at very high pressures and very high temperatures. And so like it's not a solid or a liquid, but it can be considered more of a solid than a liquid.
is it
But
like
it's
magma?
no. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out. Don't mind me. I have to go on TikTok real quick.
Oh, of course, you learned it
La
on
la la
TikTok.
la
Well, we
la
can
la
trust
la la
everything that we
la.
see on there. It's not like that
Well,
website's going under.
I do research on stuff.
I'm sure you
So
do. I'm sure
you
you
know
call it
what?
that.
I don't like the way you're talking to me.
All right, we'll change it up. We'll change it up. What I was gonna say before you so rudely interrupted me is I think it was a syndrome quote that when everything's solid, nothing will be.
I think you definitely said when everyone's super, but go off, I guess.
Oh well, it was. I think it was translation error. I watched it in Dutch.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so it would have just it makes more sense for it to be solid. They're all solid
Oh,
heroes.
so that makes sense. What
It's
was it's called some like critical,
like
not
a
critical
weird Rick and Morty. Have you seen that
mass.
that Rick and Morty bit where there's the planet of the letters, and then there's the planet of the are they elements? Because that's what Ice T is
Uh
from.
yes. I know that's because that was like a season finale, I think.
Yes, yeah.
That was a whole thing.
I think you're. Wait, hold on. I think I'm echoing slightly in your head, in your
Oh,
in your mic.
my
I
bad. Let
can
me
I think
turn
I
you
can
down,
hear
I
me.
guess. I'm like right up on the microphone, so that's probably why.
Well, yeah, your headphones are just really loud or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because they're over the ear or something.
That's what it's got to be. I mean, new setup, new equipment, all this good stuff.
I just gotta get some a new headset, and I'm solid.
Yes, yeah, that's a good next step. That was my last upgrade. Was a sweet. I'll shout them out to Bose. They got their quiet comfort. No, wait. Yeah, I think they're quiet comforts.
Mm-hmm.
Over the ear headphones. They're pretty sick. They have like
What am
a.
I using?
I think I was telling you about this. Where they have like a 24-hour life on their
Mm-hmm.
battery.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's like I never need to take them off my head.
I wish. So then I can just drown out the world.
I
I'm
mean, these do
using
it pretty well. I have this
what are these
loud
called?
side fan. Well, because it's been so hot. It's heating up in Texas. I'll tell you what.
I'm using Astro A20 wireless Xbox gaming headset.
Oh boy, that's wow. Did that come with your Xbox controller?
No, I actually got it from my roommate because he had upgraded and got a new headset. He was like, "Hey, do you want this?" Because I
Oh.
didn't have one.
What happened to those crappy blue ones that had tape all over them and shed like a motherfucker?
Hey, watch your mouth. That was a long time ago. Thank you. Second of all, they're broken. Third of all, they're in my desk right now.
I see. Haven't thrown them away. Just broken. Just hanging out.
You never know. Anyways, I'm kind of a hoarder. But no, I have those. I have the ones that came after that. I forgot what was wrong with those. I think it was like a volume issue in one of the ears. So then I got the newest ones I got, which are JBLs, which are pretty sick. I've been using those for I don't know, like half a year now, a year. I don't remember.
Nice. Yeah.
But they've been doing the job. Let me tell you that. I definitely wear them all the time at work. At first, I was worried that they were like, "Hey, no headphones on site or whatever," but nobody said anything other than Isaiah. What are you listening to all day?
And
And
what
I'll
do
be
you
like,
tell them? Just
"W-
the carnival
oh
music on
no,
loop
are you
over and
calling me a
over.
clown?" Wow, I thought you were better than that.
Well,
No, I just tell them the same thing I tell everybody. I listen to a little bit of everything. Could be a little R&B, could be some rock music, could be some folk. You never know.
right, yeah. Well, I bring that up just because I read this. I guess it was somebody had posted about their method for study. They like became, I think, an aerospace engineer, and what they would
Mhm.
listen to is they would just listen to 3 songs in their headphones at the same
Yeah.
time. They would just open 3 windows and they would listen to like the Benny Hill theme.
At the same time?
Yes, and then 2 more songs. I mean, it sounded insane because they actually like played a clip of what they did, and they're like, "Yeah, this just I don't know, it just helps me focus." It
I
was
mean, I
in a topic about autism, if that helps.
okay. That makes some sense.
Yeah, I guess it was just it stimulated their brain somehow.
I guess it's kind of the thing where like how some people, myself included, focus better with multiple forms of media going on at once. Like a good example would be half the time I have my TV on like YouTube or something, I have that playing, and then I'll be on my computer doing something else while also just kind of scrolling through every now and again on my phone. Um,
Yeah, I don't
so I
know
don't know if it's
how
actually a focus thing. I think it might just be instead of I guess it's kind of a concentrated distraction kind of thing. So instead of getting distracted by random things, there's things that are already set in place to be distracted by, you know?
that's insane. That sounds crazy. I don't understand how people function like that. Like I know people okay, yes, I will listen to music in my headphones while I'm working or not really while I'm playing video games, but definitely when I'm writing. Like
Mm,
it helps in certain things, but then if I can't have more than that going on
that's
because
fair.
I like what you're saying is you get distracted. My brain just can't function with 18 things going at once while I'm trying to focus on something.
Mhm.
Like I know people in my family that they have the TV on all the time and it's just going
Yeah,
for, 90% of the day until they're asleep. And even then it sometimes turns off after they go to sleep. Like they have it on a sleep timer, right?
thought that.
And I will like occasionally tune in to what they're watching or listening to or whatever it is. It's usually just like pretty basic TV stuff. Like I think the most recent thing that they started watching was one of those court shows. Not a real judge court shows, or maybe they are real judges. I have no idea.
Mhm.
But it's just people bringing like random problems to a court, and then they public pub, publicize it, publicize.
Publicize? Public
Yeah,
public
they
publicity.
broadcast it, and they're
There we
usually
go.
their stuff is pretty crazy. Like oh, this person stole $5 out of my wallet 15 years ago. I'd like that $5 back plus interest. And the judge goes, "Yep,
Mhm.
yep, give him 15 grand." It's always pretty exciting. But then I hear that. Well, that's what I occasionally hear. I would say the vast majority of the time, I'm hearing Burger King ads
Yeah.
just blaring in the background. Every time I take my headset off, I'm
Whopper,
just like
Whopper,
listening to
Junior
nice
Whopper.
music, like really focused in. Yeah. And then I hear, you know, I'm not going to do their jingle because I don't want to give them publicity. I'm
Oh,
so
I already did
mad
it.
at that. I'm so mad at that ad. All of them, just in general.
Happy K. Have it
Wow.
your
Why
way.
would you do
You
that?
rule.
It's
That's
the
kind of my
most
thing.
triggering thing you could possibly do.
I feel like you're very biased for no reason.
Well,
I
people
think,
like Subway don't have annoying jingles that go with their stuff.
no, they just, you know what? I'm not gonna say that because we are on air and people will hear certain things. Yeah, you're right. They have a Jared instead.
Jared's dead. He
Is
died
he?
of AIDS, child AIDS.
I don't think that's true.
That's what I choose to believe. And
I,
until you can bring Jared before me bound, ready for execution, I will not believe he is not alive.
for those who don't know, for some reason, Jared Fogle used to be the, what's it called? The face?
Spokesperson.
The spokesperson for Subway, and he was the guy who was like, "Yeah, I ate Subway every day, and I lost so much weight." And reality was kind of false advertising, because he actually did a lot more than just eat at Subway. But it came out later on that he was doing a lot of bad things involving underage people.
Yes,
Um,
South Park actually lampooned him about this in their game. He's one of their
oh
bosses.
boy, that's kind of hilarious.
You have to fight him and close to the finale. I think after you've climbed your way through an abortion clinic, it's a pretty effed up sequence.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
also, he's still currently incarcerated.
So pretty much dead.
How long is his sentence?
Well, how many
Let's find
kids
out.
did he diddle?
Um, well, I don't know if he for sure diddled. Yeah, he did. Okay. Oh, he paid somebody. Um, that he met online. He also had a lot of CP.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I'm not gonna say that on air.
Yep. Yeah, we
Um,
might get bonked for that one.
oh, okay, so he has, as of November 19, 2015, 188 months in prison.
I think we are gonna say years. I was like, well, we won't be seeing him for a while.
Oh, that's only 15 years. I think that's not enough.
I mean, left? He's probably already 40, 50 years old. So he's going to get out when he's an old man.
Yeah, he's like 47?
Yeah,
40,
15 years
46?
beyond 45, you're going to be up there.
Let's see. Well, no, well, he got in prison. Well, right now he's 46, but when he got in prison in 2015, that was what? He was 30,
Wait, it was a
35.
15-year sentence from 2015?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God,
he'll
hide
be
your
out
kids. He's getting out in
in
like 5 years.
5 years. Yeah, he's only gonna be 50.
Yeah, he still has plenty of time left.
Don't say things like that.
Uh, that- all I know is that when you go to jail, you don't get rehabilitated. Maybe that's a tough stance on our penal system, but I tell you what,
Mhm.
he's probably still into it.
Listen,
Nothing
the
like
prison
dead
system,
silence to really sell home.
the prison system, like most systems in America, are rigged to make things not change, but to further make those systems make more money by preying on people instead of helping them.
I think you're thinking more of like a private jail,
What
because
do
they
you
do
mean?
have those. There's private jails, and then there's like not publicly owned. Yeah, I guess publicly owned, like government owned. I
Hmm.
think in Texas there's a lot of privately owned jails.
Like Alcatraz. Where's Alcatraz at?
Not here.
Is that in
Pretty sure
America?
that's in New York, Washington.
Alcatraz.
It's like
San
close.
Francisco, California.
Okay, California. Yeah, yeah.
Opposite side of the world.
One of those island nations over there.
For those who don't know, the world is just as big as the US. There's nothing outside of that.
Yes, yes. Well, this is where all the important stuff happens. I was just reading so like right before we got on, usually I try and put together some topics. Usually it happens during the week. Once again, I don't know if it's been a slow week or if I've just been hella busy, because I have been hella busy, but it also feels like a slow news week.
Hmm.
So I like got onto the I don't know, I guess it was just I searched news in Google. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the right way to learn things, but all of it was sad. All of it was just kind of bad. So I decided not to bring any of that to the table, and I'm instead going to talk about stuff that's cool, because last night, or rather yesterday, right? Here's our weekly wrestling update for the week.
Ah, there it is.
You know who Randy Orton is, correct?
Yeah, everyone knows Randy Orton.
Yes.
Slithering up like a snake.
Yes,
RKO.
yes. He is the inventor, the progenitor of the RKO, which is like one of the greatest wrestling moves of all time. He is kind of, he's one of the oldest members in the WWE right now. Like he was in his prime in the early 2000s. Like 2005 is when people
Hmm.
think he like not peaked, but that was like one of his greatest moments was in 2005. So 20
Yeah.
years ago at this point, he would have been. I think he's like 45 something, somewhere in that range. Oh, very close to Jarrett. I wonder if he and him fight.
Oh,
Who would win? I bet Randy Orton would win. He could
I
RKO
think
Jared Fogle. Oh
that might
man,
be a solid guess.
I need someone to draw this.
Oh my god.
Randy Orton RKOing Jared Fogle. That would be okay. All right, sorry,
Are we commissioning
can't get
this?
distracted. Can't get distracted. Well, anyway, he had this big match between a former Randy Orton is a multi-time champion across the years. He's won a bunch, close to being tied to people's records for the most record holders. So he had a first of his kind match against this other guy named Gunther, who is
Mhm.
sort of an up and comer, right? The two of them fought it out. It was a pretty decent match, kind of slow, but they're both huge dudes. They're like 6'6", And so they're naturally not going to be as fast as everybody else. Plus, they're both kind of on the older side. But the ending to the match was very controversial because the ref counted it right. The way that you win a wrestling match, at least in WWE, is you have to pin both of your opponent's shoulders to the mat for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And they did that, except the way that he was positioned. Randy Orton got pinned. Was one of his, it was like one shoulder was on the ground, but then his legs were in the air to such a degree that he was leaning off of the ground and his shoulder was up. And they
Oh.
showed this on camera, like live in front of everybody. And then the ref was counting like dead in front of him, and he went all the way to 3. And I was looking
Mhm.
at it going like his shoulder was not anywhere near down.
That shit's rigged.
Yeah, it's crazy because like a match after that, they do stuff like they had okay, there were 2 people that were there was a different match, and they were, like, trying to put each other into a submission hold, right? So he was locked down. One of them had the other dude in, like, a leg lock or an ankle lock or something, but his shoulders were slightly down, and the ref over there was like, "Hey, bro," like, slid his hand under there and was like, "Your shoulders are down," and started counting him in the middle of this match when the guy was nowhere near tapping out or anything, and then,
Mhm.
so it forced him to move, and it seems what I'm seeing online following this, as I haven't
Uh-huh.
tuned in to the WWE for a while.
Wow,
Uh,
you're a fake fan. That's what I'm hearing.
well, I watched through the ending of the really big up to WrestleMania, and now
Mhm.
I'm kind of keeping up with the news and tuning into things that I think are really important. Which
Excuse me.
I thought yesterday was going to be more important than it was because I thought my boy Chad Gable was going to finally get his due, but
Mhm.
he didn't. They're still setting up his story. They've been setting up his story for like 2 months now, and his is mainly what I'm interested in. And
Mhm, mhm,
it
mhm.
mainly what I'm interested in because I was a fan of his before he started getting all crazy about he's turning into a villain. He's going
Yeah.
from the good teacher to the crazy villain.
Like me, I do that all the time.
Just imagine being like, okay, it's like if Shifu, right, from Kung Fu Panda,
Master Shifu?
suddenly, yes, Master Shifu, suddenly decided that his underlings were not worthy of his tutelage,
Mhm.
and that he could be the Dragon Warrior, uh, if his people weren't around.
Ah, I like this AU. He's like, Tai Lung was right.
Yeah, yeah, sort of. I suppose that's yes for all of our Kung Fu Panda people. I still haven't seen that 5th movie, by the way. I heard it's pretty good.
I haven't either. I think it's the 4th one. Is it the 5th one?
I think it's the 5th. I believe it is.
Ain't no way. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's the 4th one. Because let's see, we had the first 3, and then the 4th one with the one. Yeah, no, that's only the 4th one.
Oh,
I was told that it's not that great and it's just a cash grab.
well, that's rough.
Which isn't
I mean, it
surprising because
did
that's kind
really
of what
well. It made a
happens.
lot of money.
Of course, all the kids love it.
True.
That's who they get all their money from. Respectfully, respectfully.
Yes, yes. Subway sandwiches. They also get a lot of money from children
Don't do that.
these
Don't do
days.
this.
These
I
days they
think I
do.
think oh, that's crazy. It's like we're at time or something.
Ah,
Wow.
hey, look, you're the one that brought up Fogle in the first place.
You brought up Subway.
No, I brought up Burger King, and then I brought up how they don't. Can you imagine how weird it would be to be a spokesperson? I mean, there's some people that it has worked for, but then there's some people that it just hasn't. Like
Mhm.
there's what's her
It's
name? The
usually
girl
their own fault.
from I think AT&T who
Flow?
no, that's the insurance
Oh, that's progressive. That's
yeah,
progressive.
is that progressive? It's yeah,
Yeah.
she's the insurance lady. And
AT&T.
they expanded from her to like a squad.
Finally.
They have like 10
Yeah.
people in that.
I think her contract might have just been up.
It's very possible.
Let's
Yep.
see. Is Flow still a part of progressive? Because I mean, like we still have the Geico Gecko, but I think that's a little different.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's voiced by the same dude anymore. It might be, but Geico
Um,
Gecko's been around for since the 80s probably.
yeah, he's been around for quite some time. But or like what's it called? State Farm. State Farm. They've always had Jake, but Jake has changed over time. Jake from State Farm. Because you remember Jake was originally just some guy who worked at the place, but now he's no longer that guy. He's actually a lot more interactive. He shows up at people's houses.
My
Um,
lord.
he's not being questioned by somebody's wife. You know that commercial, right?
Not particularly. Like I
Who are you
said, I
talking
try
to?
not to
It's
watch a lot
Jake
of
from State Farm.
Oh, I think I have seen a
Yeah,
clip
yeah,
from
yeah.
that then. Okay.
That's the origins of Jake from State Farm, I believe. But Jake has made a lot of different transitions since. Now he's a black man.
Wow, he really changed. He's like Crab from the eighth Harry Potter or Goyle, whichever one it was.
The eighth. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. I got you. They had Drake on there. I see. Then Michael B. Jordan as well. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know what the
lady I was
topic is
talking
anymore.
about was Milana Vaintrub.
You said
Vaintrub?
AT&T?
Vinetrub? Yeah, yeah. She was the
How do you
AT&T lady. She's the only one that I really
Milana?
remember for no particular reason. But
Oh yeah.
it's
She was there for quite some time
yes,
actually.
yes, and she's kind of gone on to do. She sort of stepped out of that and then done her own thing for a while.
Mhm. What does she do now?
Oh, I try not
Milana
to
Vaintrub.
pry into celebrities.
Oh, that makes one of us. She's been doing TV. A lot of Marvel stuff, actually.
Well, good for her. Big money in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Oh, she's in 2016 Ghostbusters. She does TVs and movies.
She was in the
Not a lot. That's
Ghostbusters.
She was in the 2016 version. Oh, the woman Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Oh, well, that would explain why I don't remember her being in that.
Oof. Yeah, she's been doing a lot of stuff actually since like 2012. Neat.
Nice. Yeah. See, it does work out for some people. I think
Mhm.
that's being a spokesperson is one of the easiest ways to get your face to everybody in the world.
Oh yeah, of course. You're the
That's
you're the face of the company, low
yeah.
key.
TV is still yeah. Well, I think that's in the description of the role.
Yeah, you're the first person people think of, rather.
Yes. Well, when we talk about the what is it, the general, I guess we're stuck
Mm.
on insurance right now for some reason.
Oh yeah, Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah, the general when it's for a great low rate you can get on time. Go to the general and save some time. That guy, right?
Yeah. What does Shaq have to do with that? Was he one of
Shaq
those?
is like he's pretty much a spokesperson. He's been a part of the general forever.
Wow. I always associate him with I think Little Caesars.
I don't has he done Little Caesars?
I don't know. He did a pizza, the Shaq-a-roni. That's all I know.
Dang, this pizza sounds good right now.
I'm confused, man. We gotta stop talking about food. This is
But yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about food this early in the morning when we
either
haven't
way.
eaten yet.
The Gunther versus Randy Orton match was cool. They botched the ending, which is a controversial. We don't know. We don't know if it
What?
was. Clearly the ref screwed up, but we're not throwing the ref. They
Nah, screw the ref. Him in particular.
well,
He's the reason why things are the
they
way
don't
they
have
are.
instant replay. They
Oh.
do. I mean, they
Are you
showed it
sure about
live.
that?
Well, okay. When they showed that, I went. They showed it, 1, 2, 3, and then it was like, yeah, the match is over, and I was like, really, really,
Mhm.
with his shoulder that high off the mat, so blatantly. Are you sure that was the ending to the match?
Yeah.
And then yeah, they just kind of kept going with it, and I was like, okay, like they were. I knew what was happening in the head of the people that were in the control room. They were going, okay, we have to show the replay of the match. We can't show that ending, which is kind of a major point of any
Mhm.
wrestling match, is the final, moments of the match that led to the roll up. And yeah, they were like waiting. It was probably it felt like forever between when the match ended and when they started showing the like highlight reel.
Yeah.
Usually it's pretty instant. And so I was just in my head, I was going, they are having a very irate discussion in the back right now. At least I knew how it would have happened in the old regime. Maybe it's a little bit better now.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I could just imagine them going, okay, don't show that. Surely we have another camera angle. And they did. To their credit, they did. From the opposite side to where you couldn't see his shoulder was down.
Oh,
Kind of.
oh.
Kind of. You like if you knew his shoulder was a foot off the ground, you could
Mhm.
probably, I could see it from the other side. But if you weren't looking for that, it looked a lot better from that angle. From the other side, Yeah, his shoulder's not even close to the mat, and the ref is looking right at it and counting. It's like, "Oh, boy,
That's
guys,
kinda
what happened?"
disrespectful AF.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean, that ref, it's a live sport. They call it live, and they have the power of I mean, that's where the guest referee comes into play. If you bring in somebody that's in your favor, they
Mhm.
can kind of cheese it a bit in your direction. They could count to three. It's not 3 seconds. It's actually like 1, 2, 3, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ref is just as much a factor as anybody else. Did that guy screw up? I don't know. I thought it made for a confusing ending, to tell you the least. But I thought it made more sense for the younger guy to win the crown, especially because he
Mm.
didn't actually. I was really more concerned because Gunther's a really physical wrestler. Like he does a lot of karate chops to the chest and a lot of slamming you onto the ground,
Okay, okay.
especially onto your back. And Randy Orton has had like two spinal fusion surgeries and a neck
Oh.
surgery and like a lower back surgery. So it's like, all right, he can't hit him with any of the moves or he will like break him, like legitimately hurt
Mhm,
this dude to maybe never wrestle again. Like, okay, well, we can't do those moves. Thinking about it from a creative standpoint.
mhm.
But I don't know. It was
I
fine.
mean,
It was good all
never
around.
mind.
I had a good time.
Well, that's good, I think, I
Logan
hope.
Paul was in the main event of that.
Oh, yeah, he's there too, I forgot.
Yes, he is. Well, he's a champion. He's the United States champion.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
like it's not the world heavyweight, it's the one, like, right under that. Really, there's
Oh,
only
okay.
2, I mean, for each brand, I guess. Yeah, Intercontinental, and then United States champion, and then
Mhm,
there's the world champions on SmackDown and Raw.
I see. I don't know much about wrestling these days,
Yeah, like I said, I don't tune in very often, not since WrestleMania. I watched that
but
and I
when
was
he
like, "This is a
does
lot." I
hmm,
just know, what I like to do is, I like to do deep dives into the lore of, well, not really, I wouldn't call it the lore because there's too much wrestling lore. I don't think I'll
mhm,
do it. I don't think I can. I've tried. I tried to go back and watch stuff from the 80s and like catch up. It's not possible. I'd have to be watching wrestling for the next 20 years to catch up to today. And then I would have another 20 years to watch actively. It's like that is a
yeah.
huge lifestyle choice to make that I don't have the time for. I'd rather watch movies. I'll never catch up on movies. I just saw a study done the other day that you'll never be able to play all the video games in the world. I'm really
Well,
running out
obviously
of
not.
bucket list things to do. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
probably I don't know how many games
Go
in my
skydiving.
well, that's not a video game. I'm saying
Oh,
there's a
oh,
lot of
oh.
things wait, that's fair. I'm saying there's a lot of things that I haven't done that I need to
Mhm.
do. Skydiving isn't necessarily on my list. I think it's
Have you
1 in
gone surfing?
2,700. Uh I yes and no. I've
Okay.
gone like paddle boarding and
Okay.
then rode waves on a paddleboard. Probably not the same thing, but
Mhm.
to me, similar concept. I like to try, but I don't think I would be able to train long enough to get to those big waves out at Hawaii.
So you think you can't surf a tsunami?
I don't think anybody can surf a tsunami
Not
except
with
that
that
one
attitude.
penguin from Surf's Up.
Tank. I think that no, Tank's the bad
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Big Z, that's his name, Big Z.
yeah, that's the one. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, don't do I can talk about Surf's Up if you want me to. You know, Shia
Why do
LaBeouf is the
you
main actor in that movie?
Yes, why do you know so much? I've seen Surf's Up twice. Once when I was a child and once maybe 2 years ago.
Well, you see, Surf's Up was one of the mini movies that I had growing up when we didn't have cable.
I think we all did, just like Shark's Tale.
But you said you only watched it twice. We watched it quite a few times.
Well, yep, you
My
know
mom
what?
also liked that movie a lot.
I mean, it was
So it's kind of funny.
pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good?
I don't
It's a
remember there
masterpiece.
I don't really remember there being anything wrong
Hmm.
with it, which is a lot to say.
You
Should
might
I
be mad
pull up
at
my
me.
review? Hold on.
Fuck, god dang it. So you might get mad at me, but it's fine.
Uh-huh. Are you about to tell me you haven't actually seen Surf's Up?
Oh, no, no, no. I just marked our first clip.
Wow, you are so good at this job. Oh no. Wait, yeah, I did. I did. Hold on. Scrolling down to my review. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. Every time I think about this movie, I always forget that it's actually a mockumentary.
Mhm.
I can't believe they did that style in this.
No, it's pretty good.
The old Jewish penguins was saying something about what?
Okay, alright. So we're getting crazy already.
There's only 6 months and a day. It's a joke for the Antarctic audience. Bro, I have no idea what I wrote. This
Just
is
read it out loud. Read it to us.
well, it's pretty normal stuff. I mean, I had no idea this was a mockumentary. I think I saw it when it came out, but it looks like it's really good. It's really, it looks really good for the time. The characters are very expressive, and the water
Mhm.
physics are amazing.
Absolutely.
It's a classic kids. It has the classic kids movie syndrome, where it has some golden jokes scattered about. One of
Yeah.
the, and then I say one of the jokes. One of the quote unquote old Jewish penguins was saying something about how Cody is always running around. There are Jewish penguins in this movie?
I guess so. I don't know which one you're referring
I
to
have no
specifically.
idea. When did I watch this? Let me see. I saw this.
Jewish penguins?
I don't know. September. I saw this in 2021. September 27th, 2021.
Jewish penguin. Let's see what pops up.
That beats me, man. I don't know. It was a fine movie. There have been not many mockumentary animated movies, I can tell you that.
Is it one of the
I think I've seen
penguins?
one, and it was Surf's Up.
Hmm. I didn't even know it was a mockumentary, honestly. What
Yeah,
is what
that's what's
for the
surprising.
audience who doesn't know, what is a mockumentary?
Well, a mockumentary is a mock documentary. It's actually a mashup of those two words. So documentary, they rely pretty heavily on like talking heads or
Mhm.
like The Office, if you think about that, or any just if you're a general documentary fan, they show it's like the camera is one of the characters, and
Mhm.
you are that character because they're showing like the characters are looking at you and explaining their inner feelings. It's usually obviously mock documentary. There, it's sort of comical. I don't actually know. I don't think anybody was shooting it in universe. They just were using that style where they would take characters aside to shoot.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think they like talk to the camera too, like as
yes,
like the camera people, but I think I know what you're saying, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they bonked somebody in the head with like a boom mic at one point. I think
Yeah.
the maybe it's like a documentary crew of penguins goes out to find or to cover like a surfing. I don't know. I forget the
I think
exact.
they might have it might have been like just covering the story of Big Z because he disappeared after like a crazy wave happened.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, so they were probably making a documentary about him, and
I
that's
think
where
so.
the documentary side comes from. But then the movie was also a comedy, and so they kind of naturally just slipped into the mockumentary role. It's pretty fun.
Cody
A lot of people
Maverick.
criticize that style as
Mhm.
being kind of like a crutch, rather than showing, you're telling, which is,
Yeah.
I think it works in terms of comedy, especially.
It
I
definitely
think
worked in
it's
that
really great.
movie.
Yes, yes. That movie was quite fun. I think I rated it 3.5 stars
Is
out of
that is
five.
that
Out of
is that
five.
is that good or bad for John?
That's a 7, which means it's good. To
I
be
know I
fair,
have a
most of the movies
letterbox.
that I rate are higher. I watch a lot of good movies, so my when I compare my averages with other people's averages on this letterbox to this website that I use,
Mhm.
there are a lot of cynical movie people out there. I don't know if they're just watching bad movies all the time or if they just don't like movies.
That's fair.
It's
I
like
mean,
they
you're also
they
coming.
saw one movie that they liked and they went, "This is it. This is the best one." And none of them are ever like that's their one 5-star rating, and all the rest of them are like 2 stars.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Everyone's a cynic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a classic saying.
Hold on, where are we at? I forgot that I have a letterbox, but I haven't made any reviews.
I have been proselytizing for this website since I got on it. I think in 2018. maybe 20, somewhere around there. Every time, people are like, they ask me about what. Oh, have you seen this movie? I go, no, I have no idea. Now I can.
Let's
I could
see.
tell you, yes, I've seen it, and here are my thoughts on it. I have been. I think I don't know if I was telling you about this last week, but I've been watching through James Bond movies.
Mhm.
It's still going on because there's 27 of them. I'm
Correct.
almost through with the Sean Connery James Bond run,
Mhm.
which is he has done a lot of them. Something is wrong with this. May, is that this? Is that this month? That is this month.
It is May.
Well, none of them are actually logged in here for some reason. So, oh wait, matching my filters, remove filters. There we go. Okay. Yes. So this month alone, I have seen. Well, I watched Doctor No last month, but
Mhm.
this month I've seen From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I've got one left before the James Bond Sean Connery tour is over. And I decided at the beginning that I'm going to watch through all the Sean Connery ones, then write my reviews on each. Then I will probably take a break from James Bond,
Hmm.
go do something else for a little while, then come back for the next guy. But
I see.
I think I think I talked about this in depth last time. I'm still amazed at the you talk about Jared Fogle. I I think James Bond might be just as bad. Not with kids, but with women.
I'm telling.
Who? James Bond Sean Connery is dead. He died 2 years ago.
I'm
Rest
going
in
back in
peace,
time.
you legend. It's really weird because I'm such a Sean Connery fan. He's such
Mhm.
a bad he's just not really a great dude, but I'm
Oh
just such
boy.
a fan of him. Like
That sounds about right for
I
you.
can't imagine how on earth they got away with the stuff that they got away with. I mean, he literally there are at least 2 women in these movies that clearly did not want to
Mhm.
get with Bond, and he quote unquote convinced them.
We're talking about the movies or like the actual
Yes, I'm
actresses?
talking
Oh,
about the
okay.
movies. But
I
these 2
mean,
characters didn't want
that's
to
a
get
part of the
with
charm
Bond.
of
He made
James
it work.
Bond.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Sean Connery is also on record as saying sometimes sometimes you have to hit women.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure that that's a very, to me, very famous quote of his. Because
Mhm.
oh man, like oh gosh, he was like 35, I think, when they started shooting James Bond.
Mhm.
I didn't, having never seen any of his James Bond stuff. I just saw him in like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know,
Mhm.
not Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, I guess he was in that temporarily, but uh, oh man, I forget the name of the one that he was in. But the one that he was in is one of my favorite movies of all time. And he's playing in that movie. He plays like a religious zealot. Like he researches the Crusades. So
Okay.
he's like such a like kind of a really strict father figure sort of thing going on, but really, sort of a kind of a stand-up guy for the most part. I mean, you could
In
read into
those
some of his
movies, at
stuff.
least, right?
Yes, yes. I guess he's an actor. He's able to do more than the suave dude that I'm like, oh my god. He
Convince women
every
that they wanna
time.
have sex with him.
Yes, dude, he had so many stupid bits. Every
Mhm.
time they would like into next movie, they'd be like, "All right, we need to get James Bond on this." And like he's already in the field. Like, great, how's he doing? And then it would cut to him just making love to a woman. It's like, what on earth does this dude actually do? The first
Mhm.
2 or 3 movies, I'm going off on this Bond thing again. I need to just not talk about James Bond.
I'm gonna give you, like, 2 more minutes.
No, no, I'm quite done. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It, if you want to feel uncomfortable, okay, those movies are also, god, okay, I can't just, they're so weirdly shot. I don't know what was happening. It was the 60s, they were doing their best,
He
but
said he was done, but here we
oh my
are.
god, yes, I gotta just move on. To pivot away from this, in case you didn't know, we have started setting up a Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Stop talking about James Bond. Start talking about the Twitter feed. The Twitter feed, we have developed a system. We have 4 posts that are going live every week.
Every
Little
week. Technically
jokes.
5.
technically 5 because this one counts as one. We're gonna be posting about this. Dude, it's like Inception. Also a
Yeah?
great movie. Um, the Twitter feed is a
Excuse me.
stream of content that I think a lot of people will enjoy. I enjoy it a lot. To be fair,
Come on, you
I'm
stream
kind
of
of writing these
consciousness, am
jokes
I
for me.
right?
Yes, yes. As I'm trying to actively drag my brain away from James Bond.
Didn't you make a tweet about James Bond?
Yes, we did. We also put up a poll that only you and I responded to, but you know what?
Notice how he said
That's
we. Mm.
we
He's
responded to.
trying to wrap me into this.
Huh? We did.
I don't know.
Well, okay, to be fair, I haven't seen the Daniel Craig James Bonds yet. I'm sure those movies are better made. I'm sure there are actual characters like the amount of female characters that died in those movies.
Oh.
The most dangerous role you could possibly be, I guess aside from a standard henchman, is James Bond's current lover. They
Mm-hmm.
killed I wish I had saw a head count because I think in just the last movie alone that I watched, I think it was You Only Live Twice. I think they killed 3 lovers.
Oh my
He
gosh.
started out with a girl, and then she dies later in the movie, and he gets another girl halfway through who dies. Well, she was also the villain. He just
Mm-hmm.
made love to her, and then she died in the scene after that because how dare you not kill James Bond, and then threw him to the piranhas.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just they kept even the last movie. All right, slight spoiler alert on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Really weird movie. Changed up the actor. Talking about James Bond again. God, mother of all.
Yeah. You want me to just stop you now,
It
or are
was
you just gonna
so.
keep
I
going?
was so. Oh God. Yeah. All right. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Um. Well, this is kind of funny. Um. Oh. So for all those who tuned in last week, I had shared a little anecdote about my room being hot as balls all the time. Um, like no matter what I tried, nothing was working. I didn't know why it was so hot. Like I would wake up with migraines. It was rough. It was very rough. Migraines, like stuffy nose, very muggy, very humid, hard to breathe, all that jazz. Well, I tried multiple things. I tried keeping the door open, opening a window, putting a fan in here, sleeping with no blankets. And the worst part about it was that my room is right next to the AC, so by that logic, my room should be the coldest in the house, but it was the hottest, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why. And then one day, one of my roommates came in and I was complaining about it, and then he goes, "Have you checked the vents?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I've checked the vents. Why wouldn't I? That's the first thing I would have done." And he looks up. He's 6'4", by the way. He could reach the vent without a chair or anything. And he looked up and he goes, "Your vent is closed." And I said, "No, it's not." Because from the angle that I was looking at, the vent looked like it was open. But sure enough, it was completely closed, preventing any kind of airflow into my room. And he just looked at me and he said, "You're a maintenance man." And I was like, yeah, that's true. Listen, it's rough out here. So he opens up the vent and immediately just a gust of cold air just runs into my room and it immediately cools down.
I think this is a certified short person problem.
Hey, Jonathan,
Yeah.
mind your fucking business.
Well, if you were 6'4", you wouldn't have had this problem.
I
Should have
mean,
been
I
taller,
guess
man.
I feel like those things are not mutually exclusive. Or is it they are mutually exclusive?
Well,
Mutually
what you did was give it the old
exclusive.
eyeball. What you should have done is gotten up on a chair and maybe cleaned the vent. That also could have helped.
Oh, so I think I use it in the wrong way. But anyways, yeah, no, listen. So the reason why I truly think I know the reason why the vent was closed, and it's because during the winter time, uh, because my room is right next to the AC. Whenever it was wintertime, it would get blazing hot in my bedroom, and it was too hot for me to sleep, so I closed my vents. And I guess I just forgot to open it once it got hotter outside. So for the
Because y'all turn on the
last
heat like a bunch of rich people.
yeah, I mean, I pay my bills, so I deserve to use what I pay my bills for.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, I'm not a freeloader. What's wrong?
Doesn't your whole apartment complex share the same bill?
No. Well, sort of. We share utilities, but our rent are for each individual space.
So if someone
But you would know if you still lived here.
if Billy Bob in apartment 2C on the other side of the complex decides to run their heat all the time, are you having to pay for that?
No, they do it by
Good. Yeah,
apartments.
exactly. So if you
So
guys
I
don't turn on your heat and you just man up, put on some socks, your rent would be lower.
no, my rent stays the same, but
Well, the
utilities will be a little
utilities are
lower.
part of the rent cost.
Well, I mean, by that logic, we would just also turn off most of our electronics, which are always running as well.
That's also a great idea. That's
But
why
why would we do that?
because money.
John, I make more than enough money to pay my bills.
Yeah, but you'd make
S
more money if you would turn off the gosh darn lights when you leave the room.
Not necessarily. I would turn off the lights when I leave. Fuck
Stop
you.
leaving the fridge open.
Who
Don't
leaves
take the AC lower than 69.
You just sound like a crabby old man now.
Well,
What, you turn 27 and all of a sudden you have a new outlook on life?
yep. I live in darkness.
That's because you have problems. You're depressed.
Nope. One of my main goals in where I live right now is I go around and I turn off lights because people turn them on and there's nobody in the rooms. And I have legitimately walked from my bed to the refrigerator to get water, and I walk out of my room dark. The lights are off. I have sunlight coming in because I have windows. Because so it's not dark, it's sunlight. So I go out from there into the main area, and there are it's like the sun is out in the middle of here because all of these lights are on in the
Mhm.
living room, in the dining room, in the kitchen. All of this stuff is like bam, all of it's on. I have found lights in closets that I didn't even know had lights on, and
They're
I've had to
running up the
hunt
bills for no
down.
reason.
That's what I'm saying. And that's like if I can contribute one thing to this world, I have gone around and turned off.
Wait. Hold on. Say that again?
If I can, what?
Say what you just said again.
If I contribute one thing to this world,
That's not what you said.
what did I say?
You said if I contribute.
Oh, well, whatever.
What is it? What does
It's the
contribute,
same
John?
word.
No. You're speaking some foreign language. Did you say that? The word is contribute?
If I
And you said it that,
contribute
and you said that the
one
same. You
thing
said
to
it that
this
way
world,
the second time you talked about it.
yeah, it's a different. The sentence flowed differently that time.
Oh, I bet. How convenient.
What do you call it?
Contribute, yes.
A
Not
contribution?
contribute. Sounds like you're trying to say contraband, but then you caught yourself
Well,
and
okay.
tried
Hey,
to change it
hey,
at the
hey,
end.
hey, 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 what if so like you're sitting in church, right? The pan comes down. They're asking for
Yeah.
money. Do you contribute or do you
You,
contribute?
you contribute.
Do you make a contribution?
Yes, I do. But the act of doing it, the verb is contribute. I contributed, yes. I
If you
contributed a
conjugate it,
contribution.
it's to
Uh-huh.
contribution.
Yes, correct. I gave a contribution by contributing.
I contributed a contribution. They're not two different words. It's the same word.
Okay, but they add different suffixes, which makes it a different word.
How is it different? In
You don't,
one,
don't ask me. I didn't make the English language.
in one you are giving something, and the other you gave something.
Mm-hmm. So then it's the past tense, I guess. I don't know what you're asking me.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about.
I think listen, I have an English minor. Thank you.
Right, yeah. And somehow we're still having this conversation.
Yeah, you don't understand. You're not a writer like I am.
It's I contribute. What was I
Yeah,
talking about? I contribute one thing to this world. I contribute one thing to
you're a
this world,
bastard.
and that's turning off lights. I save electricity. That is
Mhm.
my main thing. And speaking as a writer, I, I decided the other night. So usually I kind of have to decide between working out and writing because when
Mhm.
I work out, I'm exhausted physically and mentally. And when I write, I'm exhausted mentally. And
No, I
also, a
get
lot
that.
of time has passed, and now I don't have time to work out. So I kind of have to sometimes flip a coin. Be like, all right, I've worked today. Now I need to decide if I'm going to work out and then just take a shower and go to bed, or if I'm going to write a little while. The other day I
I have an
decided.
answer for you. I
What
have an
did
answer
you?
for you already.
What do you always choose?
Well, obviously I don't work out, so that's your answer for that. But here's the thing. You said you just got off of work and trying to figure out if you're gonna write or work out, right?
Yes.
Well, just write. Why would you go leave or just get done working and then work some more for free? That's stupid.
It's a different job.
Oh, it's a different kind
See,
of work?
well, see, because I actually have not that exact thought, but I've had a similar thought to that, and
Mhm.
it's that I'm going to be having to do maintenance, body maintenance, basically for the rest of ever.
Yeah.
Versus if I focus on writing now, like I don't want to give up on this goal of mine that I'm now getting into my third year of.
Yeah, don't do that actually. It's
But,
very admirable, low key.
well, thank
But you'll
you.
never hear me say
But
it.
it's not like we have it on record or anything. We'll cut
Not at
that part
all.
out.
Yeah, we'll edit and post.
They it's like what is really going to, in a million years, right, when they find our bones, what are they going to remember? Are they going to see my bones and go, yes, they were in shape? Or are they going to go, oh yeah, look, these are the bones of the person that wrote this thing that, was really successful and everybody liked? Because that's
Yeah,
obviously what they're going to say.
we're talking about becoming legends and
Yes.
what's the word? Legacy, that's the word. Leaving a
Yes,
legacy.
yes. And so to that end, the other day I did decide not to work out
What's
and
your
instead to
problem?
write. And well, I've come upon a new problem because, well,
Mhm.
I think I've described to you that I think a novel is in my future in terms of audio, in terms of this
Yeah.
D&D world that I've created, as that's kind of my main project right now. That I've been working on a lot of stuff on the side, but this one is kind of my main. It's like this big blimp that I keep putting air into, and I'm going,
Mhm.
one of these days, it's going to take off and
I
fly.
get that. I
So
I definitely understand that.
I'm really hoping that every little step I take, I'll be watching it. Anyway,
Now wait a
the
minute.
that I determined that, so I've sort of put out some pipe dream, like, long distance goals, right? Like have a TV show based around this thing, write a series of novels based around this thing. My new thing
Mhm.
that I want to do with it is I want to learn how to animate in like Blender or Maya and make a little short, like one scene. I want to animate one scene from that whole first campaign, like voice actors and all this stuff, and I want to put all
Which
that together.
scene?
I haven't decided. I have a couple in mind,
You have to do one
but
with me in it so I can be in it.
well, technically, one of the things that I'm also struggling with right now is, well, what I did the other day
Mhm.
to not distract myself continually is, instead of working out, I decided to write. What I decided to write is I started to block out book
Mm.
one of this novel, of basically the novelization of the campaign that you guys played through, with some
Yeah.
slight modifications from the second group and some clarifications on my own side, because there's a couple places that y'all didn't go to, and so didn't I have to rework that stuff in ways that makes more sense. And so I
I
started
got you, I got you.
blocking out, uh doing my best to block out the chunks. Each kind of, I've sort of organized it into scenes. The
Mhm.
problem that I'm running into is I'm not having a problem like writing down what we did, because that stuff is still pretty clear in my brain and I have all my notes on it. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of just adapting from what we did to what I'm having in the novel. The problem is, it's the opposite problem I've had my entire life. Is I usually have a character first,
Yeah.
and then I take that character and I put them into situations.
Okay.
I'm kind of doing the opposite, where I have all the situations done. I don't have a character to put into these situations. I have a couple of side characters.
Wait, I'm confused.
I don't have a main character for
Oh,
this
yeah.
book.
Of course not. You're just kind of you're just seeing things from, like, eagle eye point of view
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of following a central character. I gotcha.
It's like I have a couple of in my head that I think would make good ones,
Yeah.
but there's also, like, I have so many different options to go with. I've played with a couple of ideas. I've played with a sort of Geralt of Rivia kind of main character who's like a monster hunting spellblade kind of.
Me.
Well, no, Rastmore had very different intentions going to that place.
No, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Right.
it's definitely difficult for you because you have so many different excuse me, so many different things going on and so many different factions going on that it turns into like which story do you want to focus on? And if you focus on this, you're gonna miss out on all this other stuff going on. And like, cause like if we just take the Kine Islands, for example, that whole story, because you could either insert a character to be the main character or use one of the actual characters already there, in which case you would use probably one of the candidates or even Evros. But then it turns into, again, I guess the biggest thing is, what narrative are you trying to sell with a story? Are you trying to show it from the Kine Island perspective? Are you trying to show it from one of the candidates' perspective? Are you trying to show it from Everos's perspective? Because like if you do with Everos, then it's like, oh, that guy was the hero the whole time, the protag the
The
whole time.
hero? Oh, you've switched around on him, haven't you?
In that perspective, he
Uh-huh,
could be
okay.
considered the hero. Versus if you do it from the player's perspective, our perspective, obviously he's not really seen as the hero. Um, at least with our group.
Yeah. These are you're bringing up what I had to struggle with when I was blocking out these things, and I still haven't
Mm-hmm.
determined it. You're kind of just you followed a very similar path to where my brain went.
Yeah.
Was like how, because I have right the story, I have the
Mm-hmm.
plot already done, and I have that book one is part of a multi-chain, a multi-part chain, multi. There are multiple stories within
Take your
the
time.
overarching story. This is part one of like four ish,
Mm-hmm.
give or take. That fourth book might actually be like 8 books, but the first three, which I think you guys have played sort of one and a half of,
Mm-hmm.
are very in the same vein, right? So I
Okay.
know exactly what's happening in them, and I've taken the perspective where it's uh pretty player driven.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is basically condensing down the players into sort of making my own party. I have one character, how I just kind of sort of was like the Geralt of Rivia kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense for something like this because honestly, you guys do a lot of monster fighting in the various towns. There was like the wolf fight, then
Yeah.
there was also the goblin fight, which got cut. It's been cut because it's not important. Um, but the wolf fight is important because it introduces the evil wizard and
Yes,
then
sir. Oh
brings
yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah.
second, like when you guys were fighting down in the caves, in the water caves with the Chul and the dude that tried to drown you underwater. That is now its own
Oh
little
yeah.
section, which might get cut for time, depending. All of these are like sort of moments within this where it's like I think I don't even know how far I am into the book because I've just been blocking it out. But
Yeah.
at a certain point, once I have it all blocked out, then I can start chopping things and
Mm-hmm.
deciding what's not important or what could be moved into other stuff. These are all like later problems because I initially wrote down like, yeah, this is the main party. And I went, who is the main character? Who is the secondary character? And then some side characters that are in there. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I have a side character, and I had one main character who is now two main characters. Where it was, it was a Geralt of
Hmm.
Rivia kind of thing. Then it went, okay, well, I don't want to just make a Geralt because I'm a big fan of that character. I don't just want to copy that character. And so I
Yeah.
was like, well, what if we did a uh sort of Padawan Jedi Master kind of thing going on, where we have sort of like a magically inclined child, like a Baby Yoda, sort of Mandalorian kind of thing,
Hmm.
where
A lot
there's
of inspiration I'm
sort of like
sensing
a
here.
badass warrior who
Me.
is not really wanting to get involved, but
Not me.
has to by force, and
Me?
then like a small
Just
like a
make me the main
child.
character, damn
You're
it.
not in this right now. Rastor's
No.
not in the story yet. He is a side character who I haven't determined. He might be the one that gets finger of death right at the beginning. If you keep pushing me,
But he didn't die there.
Canonically, in your
Canonically,
canon,
he
yeah.
didn't die at all, technically.
You took over that character and went on to success.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just weird because I don't have a main character. I have a story. I don't have a main character for this story, which is weird because throughout my life, every time I've written a story, I've always had a main character. That was like the
Mhm,
first thing that I came up with. And for the longest time, I had a theory about who the main character would be. But after having written all of the other stuff in the world, worked on that character's backstory and tied him into the rest of the world, sort
mhm.
of put all this stuff together. Now he's not a main character, at least not in campaign 1. He might be a main character in campaign 3 because of what he has to do and who he is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But he basically is there. The way I have it scripted out right now is he's there for like the first 2-3 blocks. Then he leaves. Like he's basically forced out. So he's no longer a main character. So the guy that I thought might be my main character is
Is no
now
longer the main character.
gone. Yeah. And I've already
You
decided
know
not to
that you
follow.
can, you know, as a writer, you could change that and make it the way that you want it to, right?
Well, the problem is I want him to do this. I would rather
Oh,
him do that than be the main character. Because him being the main character kind of it sets up more stuff later down the line if he's not the main character. If he's like
mhm,
if he appears to be a main character, like in sort of the main group who
mhm.
is I think like 6 people or whatever at the moment where he leaves, then he leaves, the candidates, the heirs get abducted, and then it's just down to the core of like the 3 people, 2 people
Me,
if it's just Geralt and the one comic relief companion who I have.
the Grogu.
Grogu doesn't speak. He's not a comic relief
Oh,
guy.
well, because you were talking about the Mandalorian thing.
Well,
So
yes,
that's
Grogu would be the main sort of the small magically inclined character who is an apprentice more or less, but sort of an unwilling apprentice or an unwilling master has an unwilling leader.
I
I don't
see.
know. It's just it's weird. I've just put them down as MC, and
Yeah.
every time I have to like the MC does this. Like I don't know who this character is yet. I got character art for this
Mhm.
new Grogu
Just just
character.
just just whenever you have MC, just name it Y/N. The viewers will know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Is that just your name?
Oh, so you are familiar with that kind of content, John.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, that's oh, you see that a lot in fan fiction because
Oh,
people will
really?
like
Oh,
make fan
okay.
fiction with like characters from like a show or like K-pop or like just famous people or whatever. Or boy, it was One Direction fans will know. And like they'll
No,
just
I'm
use
not doing your name. It's not a
uh
self-insert.
lame.
Tolkien self-inserted himself into his story. I haven't done
uh,
that yet. Okay? Yet.
I mean, yeah, I haven't self-inserted myself into my stories. Have I?
Uh-huh.
I haven't. I mean, I haven't made any D&D stories technically, but
Well, that's fair.
other
This
things I've been
technically,
writing.
also technically, I don't know if this is a D&D story. It might just be
That's
high
true.
fantasy.
True.
If it is, I'm gonna have to come up with a lot of names
Uh,
for races.
that's fair. That's yeah. That's fair.
Either way, we have hit our
Inspired by
timer.
Wizards of the Coast.
Yes, yes. I actually got to talk about all the things that I wanted to talk about today, so that worked out pretty well.
I did too. All I had to talk about was
Your
the hot in my
AC.
room. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
We even talked about Memorial Day.
Oh, well, we did. We talked about how it is.
Hold on. We have to do this.
He's gonna look up. Oh my god.
What is that? Oh, that's a truck? John?
There's a
Oh no, he's dead.
lawnmower. There's
Oh.
a yeah. The bullet came through the window and took me out.
So for
But there
those
was
who
a
don't
lawnmower.
know, who are international or just are unfamiliar with holidays in America, Memorial Day is tomorrow, and it's a dedicated day for honoring U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces.
It's also
When
a
did
day
this
off
start?
for a lot of people.
Yeah, because it's a national holiday.
Yep, we celebrate. Cookout. Oh my god,
Uh,
I'm so hungry.
honestly, cookout sounds. I want a hot dog,
I'm sure you
but a
do,
hot dog
Isaiah.
like on the grill. Hey, You watch your goddamn mouth. The first Memorial Day was in 1868.
Man, it's got to be our
So,
longest running holiday.
yeah, hold on. Technically, Thanksgiving. When did that start?
1492.
First date. Doo 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 doo. 1789 was the original date. But
I see now why some really big podcasts have a dude that just looks things up on the side.
well, you know who doesn't have that?
We need our own.
Us.
What is he? What's his name? What is Joe Rogan's guy? Jamie? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Jamie, look that up.
Probably.
We need our own Jamie.
We need to have a team for that, but we'd probably have to pay them for that.
Well,
And
what we need is
yeah,
money. We just need money.
unfortunately, don't have much of that.
It works.
All right. Anyways, happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yep.
Enjoy your day off if you have it off.
Enjoy your hot dog. Oh my God.
Hell
it's back.
yeah, brother. Oh no, get out of here.